So tell me why when I stood up and he's walking me like with my hand guiding me to where I'm supposed to stand to take a picture, all of a sudden he's telling me, he's like, you see those people? Yeah, you want any liquor? Like you want a drink?
Huh?
Baby, I'm talking crazy. I need you running my space, but I need it, baby. I'm late, but
Hey y'all, it's KaetheDoll. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. I'm so happy to see you again. So recently my mom, my sister, and I decided to take a cruise, and it was super fun. 9 out of 10 would recommend. The only reason why I'm not going to give it 10 is because you already know my life is crazy. So there was some things happening, okay? And if you've been here before, or if you know me at all, you already know everywhere that I go or anything that I do, I'm gonna have stories because somebody is going to give me a story to tell. And that's just that on that. Now, one of our stops was Jamaica. So this particular story is actually going to be about Jamaican men because they was going a little bit too hard on your girl, okay? That's just me keeping it a buck. They was going in a little bit, just a little bit, okay? So let's get into it. Now, I loved Jamaica. It was literally my favorite port of this cruise. I actually want to go back, but I want to fly straight there because when you're on a cruise, your time is very limited in the places that you're visiting, okay? So yeah, I really want to fly back to Jamaica because the vibes was just good despite everything, okay? Now, I have read beforehand that sometimes when you're traveling in a group of women, the men in Jamaica will pick out one or two women to kind of be like hitting on and kind of be super attentive to. Okay? Let me tell you how that was me. That was me. I was the one out of our group that was being talked to the most, that was literally being catcalled like nonstop. It was crazy. I'm talking about we had already planned and paid for an excursion. So here we are trying to make it to our tour guide to go on our excursion. And all of a sudden we're getting like catcalled all the way. All the way. So we have to make it off the ship outside the gates to find our tour guide. The whole time they was being a little too attentive. Okay, so we make it off the ship and past security, past people trying to stop us and everything, and we find our tour guide. Now our tour guide, 12 out of 10, would definitely recommend. Like, he was so great. When I tell you, I'm so mad that I can't remember his name. Like, my sister can't remember, my mom can't remember. I really wish I knew his name, but he was amazing, okay? So he overhears me singing this Dennis Brown song because when you get off the cruise ship in Jamaica, of course, they're going to be playing reggae. Now, reggae is my favorite type of music, okay? So I guess at that point, I had a song that was stuck in my head. And so he kind of looks at me, he looks back, and he's like, what do you know about that? So we start talking, of course. Super nice guy. So he asked me my favorite Dennis Brown song. And so I ended up telling him, Here I Come. And he's like, what do you know about that? Like, you know. And so when we get in the van, he plays that song, y'all. He played that shit 25 million times. We ain't listened to nothing else. And if we did, it was only one other song. And that's because he was on YouTube. And so it was auto playing. He was going back to Here I Come. I'm like, now I love the song and all, but you know you could play something else. You could play something else. Anyway, so we're thinking it's going to be a straight shot. Like, we're not going to be in the car that long. Y'all, it was a drive and a half to get to this excursion. It really was. Like, it was a long way. So he's just telling us, it's kind of like, this is that, and now we're in another parish. And like, he's just doing his tour guide team, okay? We finally get there, and he leaves us in the van. So he kind of left us a little bit long. So we just thinking like, damn, we're way out here. Mind you, the phones are no longer working at this point. So my mom is just kind of like, are y'all not nervous? And I'm just like, babe, I'm over here praying, okay, and singing hymns in silence, okay? I think we're gonna be okay because I'm praying hard over here, all right? So I was nervous. But he came back. Apparently, he was going to get like the wristbands for us. I don't know if he said that. I don't think he said that. He just like hopped out and we just looking like, okay, we in the middle of nowhere. We done drove a long ass way. We a long way from this cruise ship. So, sir, I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more communicative, okay? But we end up getting our wristbands and then we get out. Now, the excursion that we did was actually the bamboo rafts, and then we did horseback riding. If you know me, you know I don't be doing animals, okay? That was my sister and my mom's idea. They did it without me knowing, okay? Anyway, so the first location that he brought us to where we was getting the wristbands was actually the bamboo rafts. So we get out, and all of a sudden, here we go with the cat calling again. Here we go with the approaching me again. And so I'm just like being super nice about it. Of course, not only because, I mean, I'm not mean, like I don't want to be mean, but also we just out here. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know anybody out here. My phone is not working, so I don't even know what the emergency number to call is. Literally. So I'm just like, yeah, let me just not act like, oh my God, make a big deal. So I was just like, yeah, making friendly conversation or whatever, but also walking away, making it my point to, kind of keep my distance or whatever. So they are the guys that was out there. They're just like, oh, where are you from? Like this, that, and the third. While the dude that was going to be the tour guide for the rafts was getting ready. When we got to the point to do rafting, the guy that we had was named Flowers, okay? That's just what they told us his name was, Flowers. So don't get me wrong, he was a handsome guy, but he was like, oh, I need to walk you on the raft, and I get it, safety or whatever. But y'all gonna realize why I'm saying that, like how he was acting is not just me being super paranoid because everybody else's behavior. It was not. He was actually acting like, sizing me up and stuff. Yeah, let's fast forward to we make it on the raft and he is pulling off. He tells me that I can control the music because my tour guide that actually brought us to the place where we got on the raft, let's actually call him Bob. I don't know why. Anyway, so Bob had told Flowers that I loved Dennis Brown and I loved reggae and all this other stuff that I told him earlier in the day. So Flowers was like, oh, really? Okay, cool. So you can control the music. And he tells me to hook up to the Bluetooth. So I do that. And of course, I have a stupid, crazy amount of reggae on my phone. So I'm just like playing reggae, like, being a good vibe. So he's looking back, like he's actually steering us down the river. But he's looking back like, where you said you from? Like, where are you from? So I'm like, we're from Florida. We're from Florida. Like I just keep saying that. We're from Florida. And so he's just kind of like, nah, you're Jamaican. Like, you're Jamaican. So of course that was kind of just a way of him making small talk. I know that he didn't actually think I was from Jamaica. He was just making small talk. So we got to a certain point in the river and then it was time for us to get up and take pictures. So my sister went first because it was me and my mom sitting in the back together and then my sister was sitting in front of us. So he guides my sister up. He kind of tells her what to do, where to stand, and then he gets the phone from her to take the picture. He walks her back to her seat. It didn't look like they was talking about anything extra. So tell me why when I stood up and he's walking me like with my hand, guiding me to where I'm supposed to stand to take a picture, all of a sudden he's telling me, he's like, you see those people? Yeah, you want any liquor? Like, you want a drink?
Huh?
And I'm like, oh, I don't drink. Like, I just act like this naturally. So I'm like playing it off like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, I just act like this. I actually don't drink. He's like, you don't drink? Really? Why? You don't want to drink? You don't want to try one? Mind you, the drinks that he was talking about and the people that were selling the drinks that he was talking about was actually on the banks of the river, and they was like under a tent. They was like under tents. So I was like, oh no, I don't drink. That's kind of that on that. So he just keeps on like kind of making jokes about it, but trying to get me to try something. He's like, you don't want a pina colada, nothing. I'm like, oh no, thank you. I told you I don't drink. Like, so I'm playing it off. Also, My sister just took pictures. When it got time for me, he's taking my pictures, and then he's like, okay, this is gonna be a video, you need to dance. So I'm dancing, but I'm like, you ain't asked my sister to dance. Anyway, so I go back down, he walks me back to my seat, and then we go a little bit further. Now we got to a place on the river where you're supposed to get off of the raft, and there's this tent that's set up. She's selling like little things under the tent, but there's a beach there, so you're really supposed to go to the beach and like just kind of look around, just have fun. You can go for a swim if you want, whatever. So we get there, and the lady's trying to sell my mom some stuff, so I just walk a little bit further, like while my mom and my sister are under the tent. I walk a little bit further to the beach, and I'm just like looking out there. I'm getting some videos and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, here come Flowers. Here comes Flowers. He done left the tent, and now he down there with me talking about getting pictures and videos again. So I'm like, oh my God, that's so nice. Again, trying to play it off. I'm like, oh my God, that's so nice of you. Like, yeah, sure, I can take a picture, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, this dude has me doing pictures, videos, slow-mo videos, like all types, honestly, all types. Like, this is America's Next Top Model. He has me, he's like, no, you need to do it again, do it slower. No, you need to do it again. Like, I'm just like, well, dang, sir, like, you a director now, Flowers? When I tell y'all, he was directing me. He was like, do this, do that. And after the fact, my sister was like, I peeped that he ended up down there with you. So I just kind of like stood in the middle because I didn't want to be too far away, because I thought that was weird too. I'm like, thank you, I'm not the only one. So after we take 1 million pictures and 2 million videos, okay, we finally move because we're like, okay, we're ready to get back up the river because we kind of done here. Well, Flowers had other plans because he's like, yeah, there's another place. Mind you, though, he's talking to me. He's like, there's another place to take pictures, and you can get like the rocks in the background, and you can get the water that's crashing on the rocks. It'll be dope. Like, it'll be a cute video or picture. And so I'm like, okay. So he takes me on the rocks, and so I'm kind of giving my sister and my mom the eye, so they come too, so we can do like group videos and pictures and stuff too. So we finally get over there, and he is just taking like 1 million pictures. 1 million. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. So I'm like, thank you so much, being nice about the situation. I'm like, thank you so much. So then it's finally time to get back on the raft to go back where we started. We get on the raft, and then we end up stopping at this stone, like in the middle of the river. It's like this huge stone. So you stand on this stone to get pictures. So I'm standing on this rock. My sister went first, and my mom was freaking out because my mom was like, oh my God, like, what if she falls? Just doing mother things. Literally, like, he's standing right there. I'm like, she's gonna be fine. So it's my turn to go. All of a sudden, I'm taking the pictures and I'm doing this, and he tells me, okay, now you need to dance again, just like earlier. So I'm like, okay, so I dance again. Y'all, tell me why when we got back to the bank, and I told you that my phone was actually connected to the Bluetooth, so all of the pictures and videos that he got was with my sister's phone. Tell me why I'm looking through all the pictures and the videos. He was too busy watching, like so busy watching. He did not even get the video of me dancing on the rock. So in all honesty, I just did that for no reason. Literally no reason. Like, I don't even have that video because he did not start recording. And so when I told my mom and my sister, they was like, yeah, you should have saw him. Like, he was too busy watching. I'm like, is this not bizarre? So we finally get back to the bank, and we tip him and everything. But no, Flowers is not done with me yet, babe, okay? Flowers is not done yet. My sister and my mom began to walk off, and he taps me and he says, so are you on Instagram? I can't make this up. He says, so are you on Instagram? I'm like, yeah, I'm on Instagram. He's like, well, I'll be up there. Like, I'm going to get your Instagram. I'm like, okay. Y'all, let me tell you how my God be working, okay? So we got back to the van, and I'm thinking I'm in the clear because we've gotten back in the van with Bob, and we about to pull off. All of a sudden, I see Flowers like bend the corner, and he's beelining it to the door. He's like, "What's your Instagram?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have service out here, so let me get yours." Y'all, let me tell you how I finessed this situation. He was standing there. He's like, "Well, just type your Instagram in and follow yourself." I was like, "Oh, okay." I take my phone out, and I'm like, "I'll follow you." I take my phone out and I take a picture of his phone, like of his profile, and I'm like, "Okay, I got your Instagram." So I never added nobody. I never searched myself. Like he still to this day does not know my Instagram because of how I did it, you know? So I just took a picture of his. I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna add you like when I get back on the cruise ship or whatever, and I'm gonna follow you." And he's like, "Okay, cool," you know. Lord forgive me for that one. Anyway, so yeah, y'all. Now on to the horseback riding. Now our tour guides for horseback riding, they was cool as hell. Like they were so cool. Honestly, 12 out of 10. Again, because the dude that I had, he knew that I was so scared. And he literally walked with me in the water. I told him we didn't even have to do all the water stuff, but he didn't. I guess he wanted me to experience everything. So he was like, "No, I'll walk out there with you." I'm like, "Okay, great, thank you." But when it came to like the videos and stuff, I kind of peeped how he was recording me. And tell me why he recorded me from the back on the horse. He recorded me from the back on the horse, and I'm gonna literally insert it so you know, like this. I'm keeping it a buck with y'all. Like he is recording me from the back, like it's literally my booty. It's the horse booty. Just like I cannot make that up. So yeah, and then like they kept saying things like "girl, girl." I'm like, "Do y'all want to know my name? Cause y'all keep on calling me, and I'm trying to tell you I don't know what I'm doing." Like my horse's name was Michelle, so they just kept calling Michelle. I'm like, "Why y'all keep calling her? She trying to focus right now." Michelle was tripping over shit. I'm like, "Y'all stop calling her. Y'all distracting her." Somehow I got a horse with my personality. I feel like my horse Michelle had ADHD, okay? Because she kept like they kept calling her, she kept tripping. I'm like, "What the hell?" But I don't know what it was about the horse that I was specifically on. They kept trying to tell me stuff. They kept recording me from the back and like all type of stuff, but they was nice. And so yeah, that was like the end of our excursion. So we finally got back. And of course, I was being catcalled relentlessly when we got back by the security and everything. And so even like one of the security guards actually asked my mom, like, "Is that your sister?" And I'm standing right there. And I'm like, "Oh no," you know, and my mom was like, "Oh no, that's my daughter. You know, these are my two daughters." And he's like, "Oh my God, you look like sisters." Which she kept getting like the whole cruise, the whole entire cruise, everybody kept saying that. But I'm like, every time we coming in and out of this gate, this man has to stop me to talk or say something like, "What's your name?" or whatever. And I'm just like, dang, those reviews that I read before coming was right. But I'm gonna be back in Jamaica because I just loved it. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate all the time that you spent listening to all of these stories, and it was really a vibe. But yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.